right here, cricket over, ladies and gentlemen, having a good time, and we're dancing for Jesus, we're celebrating life one more time. And guess what? I'm next to the coolest boy on radio, and he got the vibes on TV. Man, when he holds the microphone, he's better than bad. Ladies and gentlemen, Sammy, what's up, my brother?
Thank you so much. That was quite an introduction. We should do this again and again and again and again, but thank you.
I'm just feeling happy and glad that I'm next to you, man.
It's a pleasure. Honestly, they always say real recognizes real. It takes a great person to see greatness in somebody else. And by the fact that you are able to see that in me, I see that in you as well. So the feeling is mutual from here.
Let's talk about events, Sammy.
Yes.
What's the experience you've encountered in events, a bit gospel or in secular? I think let's talk about this very, very event.
Yeah.
What are some of the experiences you're encountering right about now?
Well, for me, it's the spirit of excellence. You see, one thing I always believe is that the grace is sufficient enough. And for me is what these guys have done. This is phenomenal. But then again, for a very long time, when people think of the gospel industry or the gospel music, be it the audio or the music videos, they always sometimes think that it has to be substandard because, I mean, the gospel people will still take it the way it is, right? But then again, we're saying no. In every place, you've been placed in this nation to show that you bear with you a seed of excellence. So in everything that you do, that excellence has to be shown. You listen to the sound that is coming out of here. It's crazy. It's dope. Look at the visual aesthetic that is around. It's fantastic. The arrangement of things, the structure, and the system is working so well. So for me, it's to see the best of the best pulling together and making sure that everyone gets to enjoy and feel at home and be able, because everybody wants the best, right? And that's the feeling that I'm getting right now. In terms of excellence, it's amazing.
Now I'm talking to you not like a media personality, but as a Ugandan.
Yes.
Ugandans, we're fond of supporting, international acts, and we neglect our own.
Yes.
You find an artist, a gospel minister, put up a concert and it flops. Then you find an international act put up a concert and it's working so well.
Yeah.
Where do you see the weakness?
For me, usually I always say our problems are not from outside, they're from within. So you as the gospel artist who's trying to put up a concert, start by questioning yourself and sitting down and ask yourself some very tough questions in terms of what have you done right? Have you marketed, your product? Because at the end of the day, music is a product, yes, but at the same time, it's a ministry. The same investment that you put in your job, let's say you're selling a shoe, right? For people to come and buy that shoe, you have to put it in the market. And the way you package it, the way you sell it will make people buy it. So the same scenario. You have your product there, you have your music, you have your concert, go right ahead and push it. And use all avenues, use social media. Be with people where they are, If you know that if I go to church A, church B, church C, and selling them and connect, do not restrict yourself because let's say you minister in one church and that's the only place where you're advertising your concert. It shouldn't be like that. You should have the freedom to go to church A, church B, church C, church D, and push the event. And for me, other than pushing the event and marketing it, is do you have content? Do the people know your content? Are you good enough that your music cuts across? And it's not just the music that is only listened to your church, but it's music that is listened across, and not just music that is only being played on radio station, gospel radio station. You should have music that cuts across equally. Like your song should be too nice, or should have that level of grace that it cuts across different boundaries, different churches, different nations, different tribes. It's the same power that you push any other product, the same you have to invest in it. So for me, I don't really blame an investor or an event organizer when they bring somebody from out. They're doing that so that we learn from the best. Otherwise, if we only say your mother's food is the best at home, you've not moved outside. You have to explore. You have to bring the best. Look at what Travis Green is doing. What can you learn from him? What can you learn from the band, from the vocalist, from his presence on stage, from his sermons, from his preaching, his existence in our midst? There's a lot of other gospel artists that follow him, and now they're looking at this country. Him being here is shining a light to other gospel artists. If you're clever enough, you'll try and probably say, can we work together? Or let me just listen to you, watch you do your thing, and pick a leaf or two from his own experience. So for me, to the gospel artists, I always say, the same way you push any other product, push the music and the people will love it. Yeah.
How do you understand gospel music, Sammy, according to you?
How do I understand gospel music? Basically, preaching the good news. And the good news, again, for me, again, it has no boundaries. It cuts across, you understand? As long as you're preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ, as long as it's music that is edifying the soul and the spirit and is making somebody feel better, you understand? That's for me is gospel music. When I'm down and I listen to your music and my spirits are lifted up, that for me is gospel music. When I'm feeling low or when I'm in my moment, because again, for me at the end of it all is the message of love, which is why, Christ came. The Bible says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son. He loved the world. So the message of love again is key. You understand? As long as you're preaching the things to do with love, harmony, peace, and togetherness and unity, and then the icing on the cake is the message, the good news. That for me is gospel music.
Most times people that work on TV, musicians, artists, they are regarded to as people that don't know God. They are regarded to as people that, have nothing to do with Christ. What's your relationship like with God?
I would say, first of all, we are on a journey. And everybody meets God in different places, like the Apostle Paul. And nobody knows the end, For me, how I live is let my life preach unto you. You understand? So at the end of the day, people know God at different levels because the grace is different, and the grace again just gets to consume people and embrace people at different levels of their time. We have to be patient with people. The only thing you can do is know that you're not the ultimate judge. You understand? There's somebody who's going to do that. At the end of the day, you get. So we be patient to people, and we need to preach to them with the way we live. You understand? You're not just going to get all these sermons and pump onto somebody's head. No, you have to be patient and know that somebody will pick a leaf from the way you live your own life and say, you know what, I like the way MC Max does this thing. I like the way, you do your thing. And because of the way you're living, I get to feel some type of way. So we need to be patient with people, but at the same time, we need to preach to them the good news that, hey, listen, all these things, the fame, the fortune, they come and go. But at the end of the day, the only one thing that is constant is the love of God. Wow. Yes.
Nice meeting you, Sammy.
Pleasure
Hope
is
to see
mine.
you.
Keep watching Kingdom TV with my boy doing the best at pretty much preaching the gospel and discipling the nation. Be the lamp everywhere you go and show the light. My name is Wetala. In my tribe, it means you're the light. So be the light in everything that you do.
Show time!